Okay, we have another battle report, my Bretonnians versus a demon army. This is a new list I've never used before. I've kind of just been bored. I've been putting together different lists every time I play, but one thing I've been doing lately is I build a list based on what happens in the previous game. And so if I have a unit wiped out to a man, I can't bring that kind of unit the next game unless it's a core unit. And so anyway, so that's the reason this list is the way it is. There's an overview of the board. There's a hill on the far left, and I put my trebuchet on it, and he promptly put all of his stuff on the opposite corner. So most of the game's played on the right 2/3 of the board. He's got a demon prince on the right, flesh hounds, demonettes with a herald, some Nurgle guys, I don't know what they're called, with a herald. There's some flamers in the woods, pink whores, harpies, and then between the woods and the house, it's off to the left. He's got his bloodletters with a herald of corn. So facing him, this would be my far right. I've got my lord. He's got the virtue of knightly temper, so all the wounds that go through, I get that many more attacks. And I have him on a hippogriff, fast cav, a couple units of bowmen. Up right, that's a questing knights. Then there's some impassable terrain. Then I have my Grail relic. Behind them, I have 4 Grail knights. Let's see, big block of Knights Errant with my BSB. Then I've got a big block of Knights of the Realm with a damsel. And I think on my first turn I take the damsel out and put her in the Knights Errant unit, so you might notice that change. In the rough terrain I've got my Pegasus Knights. Then I've got 5 Knights Errant. There's a trebuchet in the upper right, and up there too, you can't really see it, I've got a 10-man unit of men-at-arms. So he decides to let me go first, and really my thought here is I wanted to rush at that pink horror unit because I just want to get them out. That's really the biggest thing he has range-wise, and so I figure if I can take them out, it should give me some more opportunities to set up charges that I want. My Grail Knights have a banner that says the enemy cannot stand and shoot, so really my plan was for them to charge the flamers in the woods, probably on turn 3. Anyway, you can see I moved up. Over here, I'm using my questing knights, just kind of holding them in reserve. I'm not in a rush to jump up there and combat, and I really just plan on, when I need to, just having the peasants flee and just flee right through them, take advantage of the peasant's vow. So, and there's another look. He's got his blood letters off on the left. I mean, they're back so far. I'm really kind of wondering why he did that. I found out later why he did that, but at this time I didn't really understand. And there's the left half of the board. So Demon's turn 1. Demon Prince and Flesh Hounds rush up along the flank. He turns his infantry on the upper right-hand corner just a little bit, and he rushes his bloodletters up, flies his harpies, as you can see. So my turn 2. I realize I really want to get both those units on the pink horrors. I didn't want to split my attacks and have the Knights of the Realm go against the Bloodletters because I thought what would happen is I wouldn't break either one and I would get in a battle of attrition there and it wouldn't go my way. So decided just to gang up on the pink horrors, bring my Grail Relic over to just hold up the Bloodletter unit, and you can see me position my Grail Knights to get a charge on the Flamers in the Woods. A huge mistake I made there, though. Look at the back row of the big Knight Errant unit, how those knights are all on the left side. Well, when I go to attack, I move the middle one to the right, which is where he needs to be so he can attack. And when I did that, it made it so the Grail Knights now can't get around him to charge the Flamers. So that was a little bit awkward. Here on the right, you can see I charged my general into his Demon Prince, and I thought I was being so clever with those Pegasus Knights, charging to the flank of the Flesh Hounds. The archers already put 1 wound on them, and I was hoping to, I figure I have 10 attacks going in there, get enough wounds that through combat res, break through them, and maybe even join in that fight with the Demon Prince. But it didn't work out that way. I still whittled them down pretty well. But the problem is now we're locked in combat, and at the very top you can see the corner of the tray. That's his Demonette unit, who's going to get a flank charge by Pegasus Knights, and I'll auto-break at that point. General and the Hippogriff, between the two of them, had 8 attacks, and I hit on 2 of the 8 and did 1 wound. So that didn't go nearly as well as I needed it to. He put 3 wounds on my Hippogriff, 1 combat, and I held, but now I'm in trouble. So this is what it looked like going into that combat, and yeah, we wiped them out pretty easily. So what I thought here, since my Grail Knights couldn't charge the Flamers, is I went ahead and did an overrun with Knights of the Realm so that the Bloodletters couldn't charge me in the flank. I held with my Knights Errant, so on my next turn I could charge his Flamers in the woods. And if he moved out of sight there, then my Grail Knights should be able to get him. So in hindsight, I don't really like that play, but that's what I did. And you can see over here how he charged the Demonettes into my Pegasus Knights. And the Bloodletters have a magic item that gives plus D6 to their charges, and he rolled a 6 on it. So I really wasn't expecting to get in combat this turn, and they hit me pretty hard. And what I wasn't considering was being stubborn 8 is pretty nice, but it doesn't help when you face a number that causes fear and outnumbers you. So that didn't work out well at all. His Harpies charged my Trebuchet, who failed their fear test and ran away. And not really happy with how the game's going at this point. So that's before fighting. After fighting, he Demonettes auto-broke my Pegasus Knights, decided not to pursue. The Demon Prince killed my Hippogriff and then auto-broke my Lord. And I'm so tired of the auto-break rule I could just scream. And actually, it's not the rule's fault as much as it is I allow myself to have to take those auto-break tests. Grail Relic was destroyed, auto-broke due to fear, and we moved to Bretonnia in turn 3. So Knights Errant went in and charged the Flamers. I'm pretty confident how that's going to go. And I plan on killing them, overrunning, and then I'm set up for my Grail Knights and my Knights of the Realm to get a dual charge on that Nurgle unit. But again, that's kind of dicey because I'm going to need to make sure I break them on the charge, because otherwise the Demonettes will be turned and be able to countercharge. So Lord and Pegasus Knights both rally. Broke them and overrun really as far as I could without going off the board, so I thought that was pretty good. It ended up hurting me, though, because when my Knights of the Realm on my next turn, when they charge, I can't maximize models because my Knight Errant unit is in the way. And so it cost me almost half my attacks when the Knights of the Realm come in there. And I think that's why I was regretting that decision to not overrun. I could have overrun on the Pink Horror unit when I beat them, and both those units would be turned around, and Grail Knights hopefully could have, or the Grail Knights would have been the ones charging the Flamers. So, live and learn. I think that was kind of a mistake.